We are here live on episode 3 with Keeping Up with the Flock. Here we have some guest student visitors, our UMN Golden Eagles themselves, and we are going to be going over some questions of what's freshman year really like. Students and viewers, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below in our video or send a message to our University of Minnesota Crookston Facebook page if you want to send a private message too. We'll be gathering those questions as we're going. We did have some questions that were sent to us ahead of time, so we're going to start with those as well. But first, let's introduce our Golden Eagles. Britton, I will have you go ahead and introduce yourself first. Give us your name, where you're from, what are you studying here at Crookston, and what are you doing this summer?
Sure. So yeah, I'm Britton Fugelseth, and I'm from Fertile, Minnesota, so not too far away from campus. And I'm majoring in agricultural education and communications. And this summer, I'm just living life. That's the plan right now.
Perfect. Paul, how about you?
I'm Paul Hendricks. I'm from New York Mills, Minnesota. I'm going to be a senior this year. And for the summer, I've been, just working at a local ag co-op and hauling a water truck around for one of our guys to do custom applications. I'm also an ag education major, if I didn't say that already.
Emma?
I am Emma Tolrud. I'm from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and I am majoring in agricultural education and equine science. And this summer, I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be showing my horse.
Awesome. And Corey?
I'm Corey Mathias. I am senior level 2, as we call it. And I am double majoring in water resource management and natural resource management. And this summer, hopefully, I'll work with the fisheries, but because of COVID and government work, kind of on halt, see where that happens.
Well, good luck with that for sure. All right, so thinking back to freshman year, and for some of you, maybe it was a couple of years ago or just this last year, were you nervous to start at Crookston or college in general? Were there any nerves going on? Who wants to admit it first?
I can go. I've mentioned this before, but to anyone who knows me, I have 3 fears in life. And the first one is getting my driver's license. The second one is going to college. And the third one is kissing my future husband in front of everybody at my future wedding. But by far, the second one is the scariest. So yeah, I was absolutely nervous to go to college all throughout, even elementary and high school. I was super nervous. But once I got there and started living in the moment and all that stuff, it became a lot better and easier. And I just really enjoyed it. And I really miss college. I'm having college withdrawals.
Yeah, I'd agree with Britton on that. I think I was really excited for a while, and then when it came down to it, I got super nervous. But then I'm with Britton. I really miss college right now. And once you get there, the nerves kind of go away.
I was more nervous about my living situation as I was going into Heritage and rooming with new people. And that's something that I'm always a little skeptical about, is because I never knew them before. But after just hanging out with them, getting to know them, it was a lot easier to deal with.
I know I was nervous when I went, but once you're at college, once you're past the second week mark, you don't really want to leave.
Absolutely. So Paul, you kind of mentioned one of the questions that we did get asked. What advice do you have for incoming students who maybe haven't ever had to share a room with a sibling or don't have siblings? What kind of advice do you guys have for moving in with a roommate in college?
I'd say just setting ground rules right away, just to know where boundaries are. And that's something that I would probably have hard set, as if you kind of be a little lenient with that, you're kind of probably get annoyed with something that they do. But yeah, that's probably the first thing that I would do.
My biggest advice would be if you decide to move in with somebody you know, or even if it's somebody you don't know, talk to them about whether they're a morning or night person, because that was something that my roommate and I struggled with a lot. And I had known her for several years, but she was someone who would way rather get up at 4 a.m. and finish an assignment, where I would rather stay up until 2 a.m. finishing an assignment. So sometimes that was a little difficult, especially when you have 4 a.m. alarms going off and you're not getting up for another 4 hours. So I definitely recommend that. And also getting to know your roommates before you get to college. So you'll get an email during the summer, and looking at your email, it'll have your roommates' emails on it, and you can contact them. And then we started like a Snapchat group message so that we could all talk to each other and plan on who's bringing what. Like, I know at one point we ended up with 4 mini fridges and 2 microwaves, and we did not need 4 mini fridges or 2 microwaves. But definitely get in contact with your roommates.
So, oh, go ahead, Corey.
I'd say my 2 cents on it, as well as I didn't have a good roommate my freshman year, and since then I haven't had a roommate. Your roommate doesn't always have to be your best friend either. So
That's good advice too. Speaking of bringing stuff to college, what school supplies do you as a college student need? For years, you've always been sent, a school supplies list, what to buy. And in college, things are a little bit different. You have a little bit more, it's your personal choice. So what are some of your guys' school supply staples or things that you think are essential that you would advise for freshmen to bring with?
Some things that I commonly use would be a binder to hold all of the assignments that I get. I kind of use some notebooks for a few classes, so just having a few of those on hand, and then as well pens or pencils to write with.
Yeah, kind of going off of what Paul said, I would definitely recommend bringing a planner as well. I know that's really helpful, and we use a Google Calendar a lot, but sometimes it's really helpful to write out your assignments or events and things like that. And then I also have used notebooks, like Paul said. I always bring a 5-subject notebook, so I can put a lot of my classes into one notebook, and it's easy to carry around. And then I think it just depends on how you want to organize your school stuff, because I know I have friends that use binders. Maybe they use one binder for all their classes or a binder for each class, but I just used pocket folders, just regular folders, and then just it's really easy to grab in the morning, all my classes for the day, and put them in my backpack.
I have some non-essential but essential school supplies that you should bring that aren't typical, but I highly recommend having a chapstick or lotion on hand because it gets very dry up north here. And also, always try to remember your computer charger because I forgot it a few times and that was just not pretty.
I was gonna say, so Crookston is a laptop university, so all of our on-campus students do receive laptops. So you guys, do you type your notes or do you handwrite your notes?
I do some of both, but I mainly write them just because I prefer that, but it's definitely nice to have your laptop handy and open if you do want to type notes. So just depending on who you are, I guess.
I know for me, so my teachers will do the presentations, and I print them off, and I'll just follow along with that by writing on those.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on the class, because I know I have some professors that go super fast through notes, and if that's the case, then it's easier sometimes just to write them out. But also sometimes if your notes are super confusing or you really need detailed notes, sometimes it's really nice to type those out.
Basically the same situations for me, but also some professors that I've had preferred us to just handwrite notes and not have our laptops out, just so that we, I guess, are more engaged within the class.
Do teachers take attendance every day for every class? Do any of you
Depends on the
guys?
class.
Okay.
Because I've had some where they could honestly care less. It's your own fault if you don't show up. But then I've had some where you're there every day.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is a lot of professors do like participation points. So like if you're there, I know my math class, they did like participation quizzes. So you'd want to check in and make sure that you're in class and doing those participation quizzes. Otherwise, you just lose out on those points. But yeah, I think it depends on the class. Some professors do, some professors don't.
How do I find out about groups or clubs on campus? I know you were all involved in a lot of stuff. So you want to talk about what clubs you're involved in or how you found out about them too? Definitely give us some of that information.
Like a week or like a few weeks into the start of the fall semester, there's always like a club fair that's held right outside of the student center. And basically all the clubs set up a little table and you can just walk around and find which ones you're interested in.
I think also just talking to people on campus too, you get to know a lot of different people and the different clubs that they're involved in. So that's helpful. And also like the UMC Today page on our website has a lot of those updated events. So you can kind of see those.
I know for me, before I even went to the school, I even got accepted, I looked at all the clubs able. You can go on Crookston Connection, and it has a list of all the 40 plus clubs we have on campus.
So I just registered for classes and I only have one class on Thursdays. Compared to high school, that seems like nothing. What am I going to do all day?
I mean, for me, I'd say that like I usually work during those days where there's not a lot of classes. It depends. Like, so if you want a job, that's a good day to work and get some of those hours in. I know I work at the early child care center and I usually will work between classes. So on those days where I maybe have one or two classes, that's a great time to get some hours in.
It's also a great time to study for other classes. And even if you don't have stuff to study for, it's also a great time to go out and meet new people and build connections or go and play games in our student lounge or just, I guess, relax too. That's good.
Or some people, unlike myself, they could go ahead and get caught up on homework or get ahead of homework.
Personally, I'd probably use that time to take a nap. I don't have many opportunities for that, so that's probably what I would do.
Honest college answer right there. We did get asked what clubs are you guys involved in? So going back to that question quick, Britton, what are you involved in on campus?
I was pretty busy this year with some other stuff, so I didn't get involved in as many as I wanted, but one of them that I did get involved in is CFFA, so our Collegiate FFA chapter, which is the only one in the state of Minnesota, which is impressive. So,
oh,
yeah.
Fun fact. Perfect. Emma, how about you?
I was in CFFA as well with Britton, and then I also did Golden Eagle Entertainment, which does a lot of the events on campus for students.
Yes, can you talk a little bit more about that one quick? Because that is a really big one on campus. So you said it helps plan events. Like what are some things that go on campus?
A lot of times we have different weekend events and then we have events during the week as well. So like one of the weekend events we did this year was grocery bingo. So it was just like a bingo game and we got to get groceries, which may not seem super exciting to people who are not in college, but it was so much fun and it was so exciting. I know Britton was there. I think Paul and Corey were there too. But it was just, that was a really great time. We also do like events throughout different weeks in like the student center, things like that. One of our favorites is Stuff a Critter, and it's really fun to see a whole bunch of college kids come and stuffed animals, and everybody gets really excited about it. So they're just a lot of fun events.
Awesome. Corey, what are you involved in?
This year I was involved in archery club, trap club, CSA, G, NADR club, Wildlife Society, and I think I'm missing one or two there.
involved in a lot. Can you talk about CSA quick? What is that?
CSA is pretty much the student government board. I know Paul right there is this year's president.
Oh, well, Paul, maybe we need to have you.
I think
give
Paul
us your
should talk about
presidential
that.
speech.
You go ahead and mute yourself. I'll just, I guess, tell you all the other clubs that I'm in. But I'm in Egorama, Egg Industries, our Newman Club, president of our, so for CSA, CFFA, Dairy Club, and then G. So yeah, it's our student government. Basically, we're kind of just voice for the student body. You just bring us your concerns, and we kind of just figure out a way to, I guess, make student life better. A few of us also are senators on a university senate, so we also work with the rest of the system campuses.
Okay. Where do you do your shopping? Both for food, since we did talk about the grocery bingo, or for fun?
I usually just go to Walmart because it's just right across the railroad tracks. But mainly for fun, I'll just go to Grand Forks and go to the mall there.
Nobody else goes shopping?
I like Grand Forks just because I like the options, but I love the Walmart in Crookston as well. It's just like, it's nice. I come from a small town, so like we have a Dollar General. So it's nice to have something right at your hand. But for fun, I even just in Crookston, I love going on the trails or going to the town park or sitting there and doing homework, which doesn't sound fun, but it's really fun getting to do it out in nature. So
I know
Yeah,
for
I'd
me,
say- oh, go ahead, Corey.
for me, mostly shopping for groceries, I'd say either Hugo's or Walmart in town. And then for fun, depends on the restaurant or activities. I know there's like an Air Max kind of in Grand Forks. Personally, my favorite restaurant is the Smokehouse in Fertile. Can't beat that. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say shopping at Walmart just because it's so close and it's so convenient. And then for fun, like everybody said, Grand Forks, there's tons of different places. I know we'll sometimes just go over there and have like family dinners at Texas Roadhouse or something like that, which is really fun. And there's tons of shopping and tons of different fun things to do over there.
What went into your decision in choosing UMN Crookston over some of your other schools that maybe you applied to?
Not a lot. It was the only school that I applied to.
Oh, okay.
I thought about going to SDSU for the same major, but seeing how it was out of state and twice as far away, I decided I'd just go here because it's a lot smaller campus and I just really enjoy that aspect.
So Paul, I'm going to keep you on for a second. So you only applied to one school, but did you visit like SDSU and some other schools? So kind of after visiting, you decided only one application, or did you?
No,
Only visit
I applied here and then I visited.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Paul. This is the only school that I applied for or even looked at because it's just like my dream school. Because I've been on campus for various high school competitions since like 7th grade and I just fell in love with it. And like I said, I'm from a small town, so I graduated with 33 people. So the small campus really attracted or appealed to my eyes, and I really like that. So
I know my experience and decision was pretty similar to Paul and Britton's as well. This is the only, like Crookston was the only school I applied to either. I'd been on campus at a couple of other schools for just different events, but I'd been up to Crookston campus a ton for FFA events. So I had just known that I wanted to go there, and the same thing, small school. I wouldn't have wanted to go to a big school personally. That's just not something I was interested in. So I was really excited at Crookston.
I know for me, I visited many other schools, mostly for FFA, never official tours. And I only applied to one school, and it was Crookston. It was either I'm going to college or I'm not. So, yeah, and it was a right fit, not too big, not too small, far away enough from home. So that's why I really like Crookston.
So I got a meal plan, but I'm still a little confused how it works on campus. Somebody want to answer that one? The different meal plan options and dining options on campus? Corey, you give tours, so I know you know how to
Okay.
describe that one.
There's different levels of the meal plan. I myself got the block 90 plan, so that was 90 swipes upstairs at Brown. So the swipes are pretty much your meal ticket, you can call them pretty much. That's for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then they don't roll over to next semester or next year, so you have to use them all up in that time frame. And then it comes with 545 flex dollars, I believe. That can be used downstairs at the Eagle's Nest, over in the grill for your late night options, as well as Hong's in town, the Chinese place. You can also use your flex dollars to get up to Brown if you run out of swipes. So, yeah, and then you can always add more flex dollars, or for like, depends how much you want to add on.
Yeah, you don't have to use your swipes every single day for every single meal. I know, like, myself as well as a lot of my friends would go up there for like dinner all together, or we'd go up there like lunch. It's really convenient to go up to Brown for lunch, just because you're probably at between different classes. And then I went up for breakfast a few times, mostly on weekends, just because I didn't get up to go up to breakfast before that, to be honest, most days. But yeah, it's just super convenient to have that meal plan. And yeah.
Can you survive without a car on campus?
You can. I did not have a car this year up there, and Walmart is super close. There's also the bus, which will take you anywhere you need to go. I know my friends and several people that I was friends with didn't have cars up there, and we would walk, or also just people that did have cars. We'd all ride together places. But yes, it's very doable, especially because we have a lot of international students that don't have vehicles as well. It's super convenient for everybody.
You guys mentioned a couple places to eat in town. So let's give another shout out to, what are your favorite local restaurants to eat in our Crookston community, or outside? Because I know, Corey, you mentioned Erickson's, which is in Fertile, super close. So I'll let that answer go to Emma. What's your favorite place to eat off campus?
My favorite place would probably be Drafts. They have super good pretzel burgers, so I highly recommend. It's over by the arena, and they do some student nights as well for us.
Corey, are you going to stick with your Erickson's answer?
Erickson for dinner, RBJ's for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Paul?
I'll probably say China Moon. It's the other Chinese place in town.
And Britton?
China Moon, hands down.
Yeah. I love Drafts. I am a big wings person, or their queso dip. And the other fun fact, Drafts is actually owned by Crookston alumni. So I don't know if you guys know that too. So they're a super big partner and partner with us for a lot of stuff, like Emma said, the student night. So that's really cool too. You guys mentioned a lot about the small campus, when that went into your decision-making process, or that's one of your favorite things about campus. But a lot of times we talk about small campus, but big degree. Do you guys want to talk about like what opportunities you've had, or kind of like what that University of Minnesota degree means to you as a student, as you're looking for internships or jobs and things like that? And what opportunities do you feel like Crookston has provided for you? Paul?
I don't know. I haven't been using it that much yet. I'm sure it'll help when I actually apply for a job, but yeah, I kind of think it's very convenient though. and the fact that it's just a University of Minnesota degree and not University of Minnesota Crookston, it kind of just gives it that more significance and I guess power when looking for and applying for jobs, as it shows you that, hey, you graduated from this world-renowned university and that you got the education that comes with it.
Yeah, I think everybody knows the University of Minnesota. So like it's just super awesome to be able to say you went to the University of Minnesota, and even the University of Minnesota Crookston. I think a lot of people think of Twin Cities, so it's kind of opens up some of those conversations as well. Like, hey, we are here, and Crookston is a really awesome campus, and it's not just Twin Cities. So.
I know for my major, at least, a lot of agencies like the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, MNDNR, they all know Crookston pretty well. It's a really well-renowned name.
Yeah, I feel like especially in like ag ed, a lot of us are ag ed majors, and a lot of FFA chapters, advisors, people in FFA definitely know who we are. So.
Britton, do you have anything?
I just love it here. Here's my answer.
Perfect. Every opportunity is a good opportunity, right? Question about housing. Can you request roommates your freshman year? Is it randomly assigned? And then how do you decide on roommates, like maybe after your freshman year?
I can go quick. Yeah, so me and two people that I graduated with requested to live together. So I had two friends that I knew and then another random one that we got just because we needed another roommate, you know. So they randomly selected somebody and put them in our room. She's my best friend now. I love her. Shout out to Maddie. Love her. Okay. But I'm living with two of my same roommates actually this coming year as well. So you can request it, yeah. And I got all the roommates that I requested for this year. So it's just,
Okay.
yeah.
My situation was similar to Britton's as well. I requested two of my roommates. One of them I was in FFA with and had known, but she was from a different town. And then my other roommate was from my hometown, and I knew her, but not super well. And then we also got another random roommate that we got assigned to us too. And I am living with two of them this year as well.
So when you do request roommates, if you ever decide to do that, there should be some form or like little box on your housing contract that kind of specifically states like that you want to request for a roommate. And after your freshman year, sometime in April, there will be, I guess, different dates for people to sign up and move into different housing. So like if you want to go into Centennial or Evergreen, you just have to wait for your sign up date and I guess just mark which room you want to move into.
Do I get to choose what classes I want to take?
Yes. Every time that I've signed up for classes, I've always done it with my advisor. And so we would kind of always just build my schedule for that year, just so I know which classes I need to be taking, just so I stay on track to graduate in the 4 years.
I would say just depends on your major. Some majors have a little more lenience on the schedules and all that when you can take classes. Like I know for NAT-R and some A classes, it's a class that maybe only offered every other spring sometimes. So
All right, reminder to our live viewers, we are going to kind of start wrapping things up, but if anybody does have a question that they would like our panel to answer, go ahead and comment in the video below or send a message again to University of Minnesota Crookston. What has been your favorite college experience so far? Emma, let's start with you.
My favorite college experience has probably been ANRAD, so Ag and Natural Resource Day. For our FFA members that come to campus, I participated for 4 years as an FFA member before I was at Crookston. So that this year it was super fun to be able to see everybody, FFA members I knew or FFA members I didn't know, but just get to see everybody come to campus just like I did. And I also had a great time with Agorama. That's just a really awesome time.
Corey, what has been your favorite college experience so far?
I want to say 3. I can't just narrow one.
Okay. Nope, that's fine.
Agorama dance. That's always a fun time. Just being involved in the clubs and being to climb up. Like this next fall, I'll be doing G chair. So being in CSA for so long, that was fun. And then probably the new trap team. We got second last year, and that was so much fun seeing that become on campus.
Yeah, especially because fall 2019 was our first year having that. So that's super awesome and exciting for you guys to finish second. Absolutely. Paul, how about you?
I'll go with Agorama as well. And then Final Friday Fun Day.
Ooh, and explain what that is.
It's kind of just like a big little, well, I don't know, we have like a bunch of inflatables and little games to play. You win some prizes, and I don't know, it's just a fun time.
And Britton, how about you?
Like Emma said, I love ANRAD, but some stuff that's more college student orientated, was Welcome Weekend. I loved Welcome Weekend. And on top of that, I also love all the G events that are put on.
All right, our last wrap-up question here. What advice would you give your freshman self? Maybe like move-in weekend or welcome weekend. So as you're getting on campus or you're getting ready to move on to campus, what advice would you give your freshman self? Paul.
I would probably tell myself just to, I guess, talk to more people. There's a lot of people that I kind of came in with that I never really, I mean, I've seen them all over the place. I mean, it's kind of hard not to, but I never really talked to them until maybe sophomore, junior year. And I never realized how like good of a connection that I had with them. And so it's kind of like wasted time not really getting to communicate with them. So that's probably just something that I'd encourage.
Emma?
Yeah, I would say just like talk to people, reach out, and really, I mean, we had a really big group of people that we hung out with during welcome weekend. So that's something I would definitely give myself that advice again, I guess. And also to ask for help if you're struggling with something, because I know like I had a really hard time with one of my classes in my fall semester, and professors are so willing to help you. Anyone's so willing to help you if you have questions. So just ask those questions, and also to use the tutoring center more because they're all free tutoring. Other students that have taken those classes before. And I know my spring semester when I had a couple issues with some classes, I definitely utilized that tutoring center. And I would just say, don't be afraid to ask for help because there's so many people out there willing to help you.
Awesome. Britton?
I would say the advice that a dear friend has given me, and it's risk boldly and live fearlessly. So I guess just take chances and push yourself out of your comfort zone because yeah, you're gonna be nervous, but like it's a once in a lifetime thing. Like college is just gonna be some of the most amazing years of your life. So do that. And like Emma said, also don't be afraid to ask questions at all. That's one thing I struggle with is like just I can figure it out myself, right? But the professors and especially your advisors really willing to help you all the time.
Awesome. And Corey, what is the advice you would give your freshman self?
Probably just if you're involved, don't bite off more than you can chew.
Okay.
And yeah, for sure. And just do everything you can, because there's things I missed out my freshman year that were never offered again, and I wish I did it.
Yeah, I'd
Well,
say also
Oh, go ahead.
too,
Yes.
just what?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'd say also too, just know that everybody else is in the same situation as you. So if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling kind of homesick, just know that there are probably other people out there who are also feeling those same things. So don't be afraid to talk to your roommates, your friends, other upperclassmen, and just know that everybody else is nervous.
All right. Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us today and for your wonderful words of wisdom. And you guys are some friendly faces. So our incoming class, maybe if they see you this fall, they'll stop you in the hallway and be like, hey, I saw you on that Facebook Live. Ask you guys some questions. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Facebook viewers, for watching. This wraps up our episode 3.